What up? Welcome back to the podcast. You are here with Just Checking In. Your two favorite co-hosts. It is yours truly, Uncle Don Don, me, everybody's favorite uncle, and my wonderful co-host, art history Keith Lee.
Mr. Qualified. How y'all doing? That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, I have been out of my Keith Lee variants for a while, so I had to.
Well, Keith Lee also damn near got canceled. So and it wasn't his fault. I don't know. But people change real quick. We ain't seen too much of Keith Lee in a while. I ain't seen no food reviews in a minute. I don't know if he on hiatus or took a break
I
or
haven't. Now that you mention it, I haven't. I'm
hey,
starting to make
bro,
my own food reviews.
for real. Look, ever since the BET Awards, hey man, things changed.
That still comes on.
Uh, yes, every June.
Beats me. Wow. Juneteenth and BET Awards at the same time, and I had no idea.
What
Hashtag for the culture.
facts? What was you about to say though?
I don't know, the BET thing kind of threw me off. No, I was gonna say that I'm gonna start doing my own food reviews because I like to eat. I'm a foodie. Like nom nom nom. Give me everything to eat. So yeah, I'm about to go try a new spot now. I'm not gonna say the concept because I think I got it wrong earlier, but if it's good, then I'll report back on the next episode.
I'm so weak. Yeah, I don't consider myself a foodie. This also probably makes sense though because I'm not a picky eater, but I don't test my palate a lot. Like I like what I like and I pretty much stay in my lane. Like I don't try too much else. But foodies always interest me though because I'm like, what makes you a foodie?
Are you closer to me or are you closer to Boyd when it comes to palate and eating food?
What exactly are y'all ends of the spectrum on this?
I'm like, I mean, I got dietary restrictions, but I'm open to eat other things. Boyd doesn't have dietary restrictions, but will get chicken tenders wherever he goes, type shit. No
So
shade to him, but
I'm, I'm weak. Boy, our brother does love some chicken. It's okay. We but no, I really think I kind of fall in the middle though. I think in the last like 3 to 4 years, I've expanded my palate a little bit more. Like I used to be very against like seafood. I used to be that person that all I ate was chicken. Mom used to say, "You're gonna turn into a chicken," whatever. But but no, like honestly, so I just went a step further. The next thing, the next best thing after chicken for black people is salmon because it's healthier. So I do love me a good salmon. But I didn't really try like shrimp until like 3 years ago. Like I didn't like try shrimp for the first time until very recently in that regard. But I do like shrimp. I find myself liking a bit more of seafood. I mean, it kind of just depends on where I'm at. Like I'll eat a steak. If I'm at a steakhouse, I had a steak the other day. I ain't had a steak in a long time. Love me a good steak. Um, but outside of like with entrees, I would say that's pretty much it. Like chicken, salmon, steak. I stay in that wheelhouse. I don't eat crab. I don't eat goat. I don't eat anything else that's considered edible. I don't. I usually don't dive into that. So I would say I'm in the middle of y'all two.
okay. Well, I mean, explore foods. Everything tastes good. Well, not everything tastes good, but you got options, is what I'm saying.
Honestly, I think that's what it is. It's also the same thing with cooking for me too. I don't want to taste something bad. So it's like if I don't think it's good or if I don't know if it's good, you never know if you try it. Well, I can wait. Wait, I don't got to try it right away. You can't bully me into trying. But that's a large part of it. And then with cooking, it's like I don't want to get it wrong. Like I don't want to. If I take the time to cook and then I fuck it up, I got to either cook again or go get food. I could have just went and got food the first time. I know I got to grow up and get past that, but I'm speaking in my truth. Let me be.
No, I absolutely hate that. I don't like to cook. I loathe cooking. I would rather go lay in traffic than have to cook, if I'm being honest, right? And in Chicago, sometimes I get why y'all say they can't drive. That being said, I made some honey garlic chicken thighs the other week, like a couple weeks back, and I was like, "Ooh, I found a recipe. I'm gonna make it. It looked good. I did all the little ingredients. Boom. I'm like, okay, okay, starting to smell good. I smell the honey. I ate that, and it tastes like shit. I was very upset, and I was like, this is why I don't cook for other people because I can stomach if I don't make something good. And I've made good food before, but I don't like to cook. So the fact that I wasted all of my time in the kitchen only for it to be nasty, and now I gotta clean. I much rather just clean and be happy. So, yeah, get me out the kitchen. But I'm curious now since you may be expanding your palate a little bit. I know we're getting closer to the end of the year. What new stuff are you looking to do or try in
Who?
the in life?
Um, a lot actually. I feel like I've spoke about this before, but I want next year to be since I'll be 29 and I'll be turning 30 next year. I just want that year to be full of like I say intention, but I do want to try. I want to just try things. I don't want to feel like I'm going into this new era with things that I didn't, tap into just to see how I feel. Like, do I have a new hobby that I didn't know I was going to be into or whatever the case may be? So I know that one thing I really want to do is I want to actively take I always say yoga, but then I hear Pilates might be the move as well. So one of the two I want to try next year at some point. Like I want to regularly be in a class and I want to see like can I get my body right? Can I, I'm trying to, health is wealth, that whole thing. Trying to take better care of my body. So I would say that's one thing that I know I've thought about a lot, like taking one of those two classes. Um,
Pilates is a little harder than yoga. If
I've
you want
heard.
to come
Heard.
regularly, I mean, yoga's great. You stretch, it's mindful, it's all of that good stuff. I want to try hot yoga, but Pilates, I did one Pilates class, I think back in college, and I was like, oh, okay.
I heard Pilates is the real deal. But I also like I kind of want to challenge myself in that regard too. Uh, it's been other stuff. Like I've just been wanting to be more open to things in general. That's probably been the thing I've thought about the most. But
Mhm.
also just expanding my palate and taking care of myself. I'll probably say like the wellness, my physical wellness and well-being in general is something that I feel like I've just taken note of more. So even if it's not like just yogas or Pilates, if I can get a massage like, once a month, like, a professional massage, like I feel like that'll be good. Trying to be better about really being intentional about mobility and flexibility. So like just being more intentional about stretching in general, being more intentional about making sure I'm keeping my like body nimble because I'm not old enough to be feeling the way my body feels sometimes. And I'm ashamed to admit it, but like I just know I need to be better. So that's probably the main focus of expanding my palette that I've thought about at least the most in regard into going into next year. Did you have anything?
Um, no.
You said you tried everything, huh?
Yeah, I mean, at this point. Um, no, I can't say that I'm like going, well, no, I am going to try this. I'm trying out some investment type of thing.
Hmm.
Like, I would like to get into an investment property, invest some more of my money, have that grow and work for me. So I guess looking to try some financial investments. So we'll see what that brings in the new year.
Okay. Yeah, I never, the investment thing always kind of scared me. Anything dealing with money on that level, like I can budget. That's about the most
Right.
you can get out of me from a financial standpoint of like dealing with money. Investments, and I'm not saying it's something that can't be learned, obviously, but it's just always been super frightening for me. So kudos to you, man.
Yeah, I feel like, well, the world's going to shit anyway. So whatever's left of it, I would like to have some money in the future for. And it looks like it's gonna have to be self-made. So I'm just going to explore investments in 2025.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's definitely been a interesting couple of weeks as we prepare for this new world order. but
Hmm.
uh but yeah, I don't know. I kind of like this theme of expanding, the palette that we've been on because, as always, it is so applicable. What do you feel like is what thing did you kind of expand your palette on that you felt like has been the most beneficial for you?
Mm, that's a good question. I was going to say boundaries.
Hmm.
I don't know that I'm expanding my palette necessarily in boundaries, but love, love that yeah, I've my heart has expanded this year in ways that I would have never imagined. So much so that one of our frat brothers, I went out to dinner with recently. It was Marcus. Um, and he was just like, "Don't take this the wrong way, but you've gotten so much nicer." He said, "No, you're so much more considerate now." So yeah, I think
I'm weak.
my heart is not, the story of the Grinch that once was. So.
I mean, yeah, I feel like that applies to expanding your palette because I think that I don't know, expanding your palette is just growth, honestly. Like it's just trying new things, like adding new things to the baseline of who you are. I don't know if I had to think about what's probably been the most beneficial to me. It probably it wouldn't be the boundaries aspect, but it probably would be something in that like kind of personal or intimate kind of space. But probably I think being more adventurous and being a bit more spontaneous. I don't typically like to try new things and just kind of like go with the flow from this standpoint of like, ooh, let's just do this new random thing and have a grand time. I very much appreciate and like my structure and like knowing, what's coming and what to look forward to. But I think kind of finding this balance and being in this place of like live a little, you know, try some things that you don't exactly know what's going to happen. Take a little leap, walk out on a limb every once in a while. And I think within that, I found myself either making connections or wanting to even learn more about things that I maybe wouldn't have if I wasn't open to that or didn't open myself up to that. So I would say like probably just being a bit more adventurous and spontaneous in general with life is a way that I've expanded my palette and I feel like it's been beneficial as of the last year for sure.
You know what else I've expanded my palette on this year?
So,
Learning in general, but I feel like I've allowed myself to be a student again. So like I'm a student of my field, and in that by proxy, I've also expanded my palette on politics.
mm,
I, um, I've gotten more aware and interested in government. I guess now it doesn't matter, but I was more invested in what was going on this time around than I ever have been. So yeah, just learning about my field and then expanding my understanding on government and politics.
no, that's very real and likewise. I think that was the case for a lot of people in our generation, even. And I don't know if we just kind of hit that age in life where like, yo, this stuff is really important. We should have more than just a base knowledge of it. Or we just kind of knew everything that was at stake. But I feel that as well. And kind of going back to the point about what I want to expand in the next year, to your point about learning, because I always I want to be a continuous learner. I never want to stop learning about things.
Right.
I famously have this bookshelf that's just full of some really good books. I'll tell you, there's some really good books in my collection. Haven't read them.
At all. I'm looking at
It's
my bookshelf right now.
and I'm like, but I want to, and I know there's just so much in there, but even that comes with a certain discipline. It's like, okay, am I going to just choose to read every weekend? Am I going to choose to read a few pages every night? Like, I don't know. And sometimes not having that like planned out like stops me or makes me hesitant to get started. But again, jumping into things, being a little bit more spontaneous, I guess, if you will, just start reading. Like pick those books up, read. I know I'm going to be interested in learning whatever I'm going to take away from the book. So just use that as my like motivation to keep going, keep reading, doing all that. But yeah, I agree, man. I always want to be a learner. Never want to, I don't know, get dumb over time. It's just too much out there to know. Like, so I just want to kind of take what I can and be able to apply it when I need to. So
I support that. Yeah, no, I like the idea of just expanding my brain.
yeah,
Just even like learning about people and different things on TV. I mean, you can be on TikTok, you could be in the library, like you can learn something everywhere, every day from something. So
yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. You know, I guess we also can't help with our background and our affiliations with certain things. We can't help but be, learners and continue to, grow and expand our brains and things of that nature, as educators and whatnot. But but yeah, but no man, last thing, y'all don't realize this, but we knew it was gonna be a relatively quick check-in. But as we wrap the year up, I know we talked about what we were going into. As this year wraps up, what do you feel like you are thankful for? As it relates to what you've experienced this year and even what you want to take within that thankfulness into next year.
I'm thankful for a lot of things, but the first thing that came to mind was therapy.
Mm.
I am thankful for therapy. I even tweeted the other day that therapy has really transformed me. Like I'm a whole different person. Not like two-faced different person, but just I recognize me, but in all the best ways type shit. Like therapy has it's been doing this big one, and I'm not gonna lie. I do not think, even though I'm a very self-aware person, I do not think that I would be where I am without the therapy and the work that came from therapy. So I'm very thankful for health insurance, good health insurance that has allowed me to pay minimally for therapy. Amen.
Amen. Hallelujah indeed. Um,
What what about you?
I'm thankful for therapy as well. And I'm thankful for a lot also. But I would say what stands out for me the most is I'm thankful for growth. Evolution really is the word I want to go with. But for me, I think I am very much present in this space of my baseline changing. And I don't know, I really like this phrase of like baseline, be just like how a person naturally is, but that evolves over time. And I feel like I am in real time seeing my baseline change. There are things that I'm more comfortable with, there, and whether that's be more comfortable saying, more comfortable saying, saying no to, more comfortable saying yes to. I see myself changing from the sense of how I look at other people, how much I care about how people look at me, like, and all these things are scary and kind of out of body because in this weird way, it's like I'm very present in this new baseline, but I'm still
Hmm.
looking back at the old baseline in a way like I'm feeling like I'm leaving something behind. And maybe
Right.
it's a good thing, but I'm still in that space where I'm like, I see these two very different baselines of the same person. And I know that I need to move forward. And I think I'm just thankful that I've given myself the grace to move forward and forgive who and whatever needs to be forgiven. Because that wasn't always the case with me. And I know that I've struggled with that, for a long time in my adulthood. So
Hmm.
thankful for evolution, growth, grace, all the things attached to that.
A round of applause.
Indeed. Well, we will let Sky Blue Keith Lee go ahead and go ahead and test out his new spot. Don't want to interrupt the foodies. But nonetheless, this has been another episode of the Just Checking In podcast. And until then, and until next time, y'all be easy and we'll catch y'all.
Peace.
Peace.